Hello everybody. I wanted to show you very shortly as a thank you to all the people that have been helping here, how our agroforestry plot, our little Syntropic agroforestry plot here is developing. And what you're seeing here is big diversity, a lot of mixes of species, and I'm gonna show you in detail what is growing here and how successful and how happy I am with this. How successful it is growing. And this is planted last winter, so from 2021 to 2022. Some has been even planted in May, the last one I will show you, and this one has been planted, if I'm not mistaken, in November, and in the middle we have been planting in January. So this here is just an annual bed. Actually we're growing some thyme as well, and some physalis, some calendula flower, so strawberries in between as well, and you can see it's all coming along. We have parsley in the middle as well. We've been harvesting several plants, and yeah, you can see physalis here at the end of the line gets a little bit taller as it gets a bit more sun. But everything is oriented from north to south, so in this case the south is over there, and you can see some really wild cannas here growing in the pathways. They will go all down all the time, providing it with some mulch. And you can see here we did the same. We're starting at the first tree line. Lots of organic matter has been harvested over time. This we're doing a small strip of Beldruegas with calendula, and there's some accidental fava bean coming up. We have irrigation, so then they just grow even in summer. Now this tree line is consisting out of several species. This is Eugenia, this is Chopel or poplar, and it's very dense, as you can see. We have here Salix or Salgueiro, and beans coming up in between. At the other edge we have been planting beans, you can see. Also harvested several beans of this already, several boxes of beans. Another Salgueiro. This is Feijoa, which is really beautiful when it comes to flower, edible flowers, and even to eventually edible fruits. I'm not sure if this summer is already gonna be some fruits, but doesn't look like it yet. And the Eugenia again will eventually be used for chopping and dropping out of as biomass. Here we got the poplar again, and then here peach tree, getting pretty tall. Made a very big fast start. Now I have to say the soil here is quite compact. It's quite heavy clay, as you can see over here. This is if it's dry, it's getting stone like hard like stone, and if you water it, everything starts growing amazingly. We have been adding quite some compost as well. This is a lot of work from the people here in the workshop that have been helping us. Everybody that has been here sees the result now of all these cuttings we have been putting in the ground, and I have to say, every time when this happens, it's always so amazing. There's even some little gooseberries, what is it, from Weathers here. Not gooseberries, this is well, the English name is escaping me. And so here we have another cidreiro or balm, or mixing all the languages, trying to make it Portuguese and English movie, most English. Romain, which is pomegranate, which is really nice, also adapting to this this system here. And again, the poplar, yeah, we will see how much we will chop and drop from this as soon as the winter comes. We'll bring it down a little bit. And Feijoa again. So if I continue so detailed, I will probably not end up at the end of the whole project of the line in the end of the video. So there's this oregano, and you can see everything is thriving pretty nicely together. Even here, this is a gooseberry, red currant, I think. Yeah, although they don't like so much direct sun, it's managing. So here is a bit of a field, but it works. It's nabu or turnips. They're a little dry, and it's not really ideal. They should have been planted in spring, but we tried, and well, probably gonna plant lettuce here. And then we have some tomatoes which we're trellising, which we harvested already. Lots of lettuce on the side, and then using also here, you can see a bit more better result over here, where we're planting a nitrogen fixer in the pathway, which is buckwheat, which yeah, can be chopped down. And then we have here something like okra. You can see there also beautiful okra here. This is kiabu, green beans coming along on both sides of these okras. The okra has a funny interplanting of green onions over here. This is a weed which will be chopped. Normally I'll just do like something like this. I don't really pull it out, I just chop it down. And the other one has the lettuce in between. Now, they seem to be both pretty okay. Doesn't really matter what's the interplant in this situation. I guess both rows might have also a different amount of compost, so it's not always easy to say, oh, it's because of this combination that things grow so well. You can see I'm pretty late here harvesting the okra. This one is already too far, going to seed. They're too tough. Okra grows really fast. It's a bit of a finicky crop to harvest. They grow all the time, and at once they are there. Now here we arrived at the tree line we did in, if I'm not mistaken, in November. No, this was, the other one was November, and this one is a little further in the year, so January next year. So this is this year already, January 22. So we have even curcuma growing in it. We accidentally, well, not accidentally, we just thought let's try, and it actually works, so it's amazing. Aipu, and this one voluntary chop and drop weed called castor bean. Looks beautiful, and we will use it as organic matter. And succulent plants here. Here's coming guava. There was another one here. Yeah, here's another guava. And then there comes also the overstory of oaks in between. They will eventually, after many years, hopefully be a canopy here. And now we have here cosmos, which loves to grow here. It grows even in the pathway, and it's hard to manage because they're so beautiful, so you don't want to chop them down, but sometimes they really have to go. But we harvest the edible flowers as well. The cosmos. There's pear. These pears have been making flowers. Lots of wind. Doesn't look like they want to make pears yet. And here dill, comfrey, lots of comfrey, lots of white clovers, or yeah, white clovers. You can see here. They make a really nice ground cover. They were voluntarily. I have been seeding them earlier once, but they are now coming up. And although this plot is totally new, we have been planting everything from bare ground, as you can see over there. So it's totally, yeah, like here in the pathway, just hard clay. And we added the compost. In some places we aerated, but it's all no-till, so it's quite low impacts on the soil, although the initial cleaning and leveling of this area is pretty high impact. But you can see things thrive now. Yeah, pomegranate there I missed, and here's some Avelin or walnut. No, not walnut. Sorry, hazelnut. And then here we get the prunus, plum, and so there's even a manuka tree here. Beautiful, making really beautiful flowers in the spring. And yeah, then we go on another hazel, and this is a really beautiful salgueiro. I hope you still enjoy watching this video, because I'm going to continue calling all kind of species apple, if I'm not mistaken. Everything is thriving in between each other, and sometimes our management looks complex because of all these mixes of species. Now this is a weed, you could call, but you can eat it. It's goose food. It's growing in between. Now I chop these normally down if I don't need them as edibles, so we just go with a knife or something and they just go down and they end up in the pathway. To stimulate the growth of all the whole system, we don't want things to go too much to seed and too much into a senescence state. So you can see things need to be lush and need to be in a growth state to send out this growth hormone all the time, so we keep things really active. So all these grasses you can see here on the side, or on some places at least, obviously they were not planted, could have been, and in the future I definitely will plant grasses like ryegrass, etc. in these type of areas to create more root activity, to bring more carbon into the soil and to use that organic matter from above the soil also to yeah, complement these tree lines as a dressing on the side, so they get very moist and gets a lot of nutritions. This is another bed for animals. As you can see, we get some canas that were not removed, and you will never be able to remove them out of these areas because their roots are so deep. And yeah, then the only thing that's left is using them as our slave for organic matter. It can be sometimes a problem, but if you look at the problem as the solution, things can actually come in handy, and the more of something you have, the easier it is to use it in a beneficial way as well. Now we have watermelon hidden between the pimento padrão, or the peppers, and some lettuce, which some Chioggia beetroot as well. We had some carrot in the middle of this line here, which we have been harvested fully almost, and now there is here Eipelbobo, which is developing quite slow, but I'm not so familiar growing this. I'm almost finished, Julien. We're gonna, yeah, mom's coming. So little interruption, sorry. We have to finish this video. So there's a chart, an annual bed again with carrot in the middle. There's funny how this carrot is developing, with just kind of regrowth. When we planted it, they got all pruned down by the rabbits. So I was almost thinking we wouldn't have any, and now they all come back. So sometimes maybe the rabbits are part of the system in a way. They just take their share and they move on. They didn't destroy it all, it came back. So have trust, it's all part of it. Yeah, and sometimes you lose some. This is a really beautiful mulch of acacia, which we have been pruning and dropping here during the course. This was the course in May, and I am amazed by how this picked up, of course with irrigation. But the point is that we have been planting trees in May. We have been planting fruitshoe, which is beautiful, as it picked up beautifully. Salgueiro were actually surprisingly funny because they're also pruned in May, and with a lot of water they came along. Beautiful peppers here in the middle, and some plants I don't even know because we used seeds that were old, so we used a mix of seeds, and we basically said to ourselves, let's not discriminate, let's just put seeds in the ground and join them all together, make one big happy family. And yeah, we got some pumpkins. You can see over here I'm pruning down the sunflower that also was planted. It sounds a bit rough, but they actually, before flowering, we cut them down, also get their mulch. And blueberry, another flush of berries. These plants were new, they make new shoots. This one is a little bit in a too compacted area, I guess, because the other plants further on are a little more lush. Yeah, even some funny plant like peas. I'm really amazed how this system is developing, especially due to the soil that we are having here. Beautiful, again the English word framboises. Somebody must have been thinking now, I know. So, arugula, almost at the end of the line. Goji berries, hopefully gonna be a big shrub. And then here we have mulberry, which also loves to grow here. Will be chopped mostly to develop other species. This line is quite thin as we didn't have many species at hand. There's rhubarb coming in between every meter or so. You can see curcuma, the rhubarb is being skipped here. It's funny how that goes, because sometimes you plant and they don't live, sometimes you plant they do live. And here rhubarb again over here. And yeah, so you cannot really know right away which one will really make it, what will be the happy plant. Beautiful berries, blackberries, and some are ready even. And yeah, some flashes are a bit burned by the wind, as this is quite windy. We have a little pine forest, but you see the canopy is already there, so there's not much cover anymore. The wind blows right through from the north. Here the last species, you can see a bit more lush blueberry. Some beans growing on the side again. And yeah, this was a really nice experiment of different species with which we did in May. But if we would have had a little bit, if we would have been early in the season, we probably would have started with different species as well, put a bit more trees in, but we didn't want to risk that. And now we probably will do that this winter or spring, where we give a good heavy pruning to everything and introduce some more abundance to this line. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I really hope I can show you a lot of more positive development of this plot. I'm very hopeful, as you can see things are lush. Water of course plays a big part, but eventually we will end up with shade because of all the trees, and that will store more water, and that can give us the choice to basically harvest rainwater by pruning. Thank you for watching.